he dunking?
Man, come on, that little dude explosive, bro.
He is, but you seen his dad? His dad on that balcony. He on that new juice.
Sliding like he used to.
Trust me that it matters. EPO matters. It's the reason LeBron takes it. It matters. And if other basketball understood what it did, EPO increases your red blood cells, which gives you endurance so you can play all. It's still real to me, damn it!
When respected figures like Shaquille O'Neal and Ric Bucher, people who have no reason to chase headlines, internet clicks, or staged controversy, begin focusing on the same issue, it's worth paying attention to. It shouldn't be treated as a final verdict or a rushed judgment. Instead, it deserves a thoughtful discussion, careful analysis, and an honest examination based on facts rather than emotion.
These things that you just mentioned, his manager, his agent, his wife, his trainer, all being connected to the Biogenesis Clinic, as well as another drug dealer at a gym. So it wasn't just Biogenesis. There was another connection as well.
LeBron James has now reached his 23rd season in the NBA. Take a moment to appreciate what that truly means. 23 years competing at basketball's highest level is something almost impossible to comprehend. It's far from ordinary. It's incredibly rare. History has given us very few examples of anyone sustaining greatness for this long. That point deserves to be emphasized. Playing 23 seasons in the NBA isn't just a remarkable achievement, it stands as one of the most extraordinary displays of longevity the league has ever witnessed.
EPO, however, gives you slightly more than a tiny edge. It's huge and literally monstrous, with studies showing it boosting performance by 3 to 6%. To break this down in a real-world example, if we looked at the men's 5-kilometer final at the Olympics, the first 3 places were within 1.5 seconds of each other, and the top 5 within 4 seconds. Hypothetically, if 5th place took EPO and saw a 3% increase in their performance, he'd have knocked 23.4 seconds off his time.
This goes far beyond simply counting the number of games he's played. It's about the immense wear and tear created by decades of postseason basketball. It's about carrying the burden that comes with repeated trips to the NBA Finals. It's about enduring countless practices, cross-country flights, long hours of preparation, treatments, setbacks, injuries, and recoveries. All the demands that normally force an athlete's body to slow down. Yet somehow, he's still standing. Approaching 40 years of age, he continues to race up and down the court, finish above the rim with power, play major minutes, run the offense, defend opponents who are younger, bigger, and quicker, and impact both ends of the floor with a level of consistency that seems almost unbelievable.
And then some of this testimony that, his agent on a monthly basis was going by the Biogenesis Clinic and picking up a package of PEDs with the initials LJ on them. So when you take all this information and put it together...
Hold on, Vic.
Only a handful of players in NBA history have managed to extend their careers into their early 40s. For most of them, staying in the league meant accepting a much smaller role, carefully limiting their minutes, coming off the bench, and relying more on experience and leadership than physical dominance. LeBron James, however, isn't simply hanging on. Even in his 23rd NBA season, he remains the focal point of his team's offense, continues to draw intense defensive attention, controls the pace of the game, and handles responsibilities that most players leave behind many years before reaching this stage of their careers. This isn't meant as praise or criticism. It's simply an objective observation. And when something consistently challenges decades of NBA history and exceeds what has long been considered possible, it's only natural for people to start asking what makes it different.
I help Shaq.
You trying to help Shaq up? Man, you ain't that strong.
Charlie.
You ain't that strong.
Damn, man. On that motherfucking Bron, ain't you?
I just started taking that creatine. What?
You always say you can't hide money.
NBA history offers plenty of examples for comparison. Toward the end of his career, Kobe Bryant's body could no longer withstand the years of intense competition, injuries, and constant expectations. Michael Jordan stepped away from the game twice, partly to recharge both physically and mentally, and even his unmatched competitiveness couldn't completely escape the effects of aging. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar also adapted as the years passed, relying far more on skill, positioning, and basketball intelligence than on athleticism to remain effective. That's why Shaquille O'Neal's comments drew so much attention. He never publicly accused anyone of cheating. He didn't mention banned substances. he offered no proof of misconduct. Instead, he highlighted just how dramatically today's NBA has changed. His point centered on the remarkable advances in training methods, recovery techniques, and sports performance that have expanded what elite athletes are capable of achieving. Coming from someone who competed in an era with limited recovery resources, less advanced sports science, and far less sophisticated day-to-day performance tracking, those observations naturally carried weight. Comments like those carry extra weight because Shaquille O'Neal experienced an era when playing through pain was expected, while today's advanced recovery methods and performance tracking simply didn't exist. He understands what it was like to compete without the modern tools that elite athletes now rely on. So when someone with that level of first-hand experience suggests that longevity in today's NBA may involve more than determination, genetics, and relentless work alone, people pay attention, even if no direct accusation is made. Ric Bucher then added another perspective, making the discussion even more thought-provoking. He never claimed to possess insider proof or first-hand evidence of wrongdoing. Instead, he described what he believes are private assumptions shared by some people around the league. According to Bucher, certain players, coaches, and executives, individuals who have watched countless careers develop, peak, and decline, see LeBron's longevity as something far outside the historical norm. He suggested that, in some circles, the conversation has shifted from questioning how unusual it is to simply accepting that it is unlike anything they've witnessed before. That doesn't amount to evidence, nor does it confirm any specific explanation. It simply reflects opinions formed through years of observing elite athletes and understanding how aging has traditionally affected professional careers. This is where the public conversation becomes more complicated. What is said openly doesn't always mirror what may be discussed privately. Publicly, LeBron is widely recognized for his discipline, meticulous preparation, exceptional genetics, and the significant resources he invests in maintaining his body. Privately, according to Bucher, some around the league view his sustained excellence as something historically unique that naturally sparks questions. Whether those assumptions are fair or not remains open to interpretation, but their existence continues to keep the discussion alive. The debate isn't driven solely by controversy. It persists because LeBron's combination of longevity, production, and athletic ability continues to exceed what basketball history has typically shown. One point deserves to be emphasized repeatedly. LeBron James has never failed an NBA drug test. He has never been suspended for violating the league's performance-enhancing drug policy. There is no confirmed finding of misconduct against him. Those facts are important and should not be overlooked. At the same time, it is also true that the NBA's testing program differs from some other major sports leagues. For example, the league does not use biological passports, which monitor long-term blood profiles and are considered one of the most advanced anti-doping tools. Testing schedules are also more limited and can be relatively predictable. These are observations about league policy, not accusations directed at any individual. When those realities exist alongside unprecedented career longevity, it's understandable that questions continue to surface, not necessarily from hostility, but from curiosity and historical comparison. Another reason this topic remains active is LeBron's public visibility. His trainers, advisors, longtime friends, business partners, and support staff have always been highly visible throughout his career. In today's media landscape, constant exposure often leads to speculation. The more people see behind the scenes, the more narratives naturally develop. That doesn't make every theory accurate, but it does help explain why conversations continue, especially in an era where nearly every aspect of an athlete's career is documented and discussed. There is also an emotional side to how sporting greatness is remembered. Some legends become larger-than-life figures whose accomplishments are rarely questioned. Others have every achievement examined in extraordinary detail. LeBron's career has often been viewed through the lens of preparation, optimization, and calculated excellence rather than mythology alone. That distinction influences how people respond to his success. When an athlete continues breaking records, extending a career far beyond historical expectations, and maintaining elite performance deep into his late 30s and beyond, public scrutiny naturally increases. As extraordinary accomplishments continue to pile up, disbelief often becomes part of the conversation as well. In many ways, this is the cost of redefining what seems possible in sports. History shows that athletes who push beyond established limits frequently face skepticism, not because guilt has been established, but because previous generations of fans have witnessed remarkable achievements later challenged or reevaluated. Those memories shape how people react whenever someone appears to surpass the expected boundaries of human performance, as LeBron continues competing at an elite level despite his age and the mileage on his body. Some wonder whether they are witnessing the greatest physical outlier basketball has ever produced, or the result of modern advances in training, nutrition, recovery, and performance optimization working together in ways previous generations never experienced. There is no final verdict here, no definitive proof, no single explanation that settles the debate. There is simply an ongoing discussion. Shaq raised the topic, Bucher shared his perspective, analysts offered their opinions, and fans continue debating because LeBron continues performing at an extraordinary level. With every additional season, every milestone, and every elite performance, the conversation only grows stronger. His remarkable longevity ensures that these debates are unlikely to disappear anytime soon. Even after LeBron eventually retires, this discussion will probably continue through documentaries, books, podcasts, and future NBA debates. History always revisits athletes who redefine what was once considered impossible. That isn't necessarily disrespect. It is part of how sports history examines transformational careers. The central question, therefore, remains open. Is LeBron James simply the greatest physical outlier basketball has ever seen, combining elite genetics with unmatched discipline, resources, and commitment to longevity? Or does a career this unprecedented naturally invite questions whenever established expectations are surpassed? There may never be one universally accepted answer. The debate is likely to outlast records, careers, and even generations of basketball fans. Whether people ultimately respond with admiration, skepticism, or a combination of both, one fact remains undeniable. LeBron James has built one of the most extraordinary careers the NBA has ever witnessed. If you enjoyed this NBA breakdown, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos.